Hi, I'm Hal Habecker for Finishing Well Ministries. You know, our God is awesome. He thrives on doing the impossible. He can take a young boy with 5 stones and slay a giant. He can feed 5,000 with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. And he can give an introvert a cart full of games, crossword puzzles, and coloring books, arm him with a ukulele, and turn him loose in a hospital, not only to further his kingdom, but to help someone else finish well. I want you to meet Glen Sale and hear his story.
A lot of other places that I'd rather be than laying in a hospital watching TV. Well, I work for the volunteer services at UT Southwestern. About a year or so ago, I had some prostate issues. And so I said, well, this is a really good hospital, and I'm very impressed with it. And so I looked into the volunteer services there. I had retired about 2 years before that. Hal Habecker coached us to finish well. As a result of us discussing how to finish well, I came up with a statement for myself to finish well by enhancing the lives of those around me, by supporting them, encouraging them, comforting them, and uplifting them. So that was kind of my mission statement for my life, based upon finishing well. I come once a week, and I work for about 4 hours, and I work on one floor, on the 12th floor. So I go in, tune up my ukulele, and we have a little volunteer cart that we use, and that has, and I make sure it's supplied with crossword puzzles, word searches, has deck of cards, has coloring, amazing number of people want to color nowadays, has magazines and books, and just things to take their mind off the situation that they're in the hospital. And so I go, and there's 24 beds that I visit each week.
I was in the hospital just after Labor Day, and for an attack of severe dizziness. I was extremely miserable, and then Glen comes in. He's full of vigor and vitality, and so wanting to help me, and offering various things that he had on his card as a volunteer to try and cheer me up, wanting to offer a magazine for me to read. And I'm trying to explain to him, no, I'm not able to read. That's just going to make me more dizzy. He said, well, I have a word search. And I'm thinking, wow, that's just going to make me even more dizzy. In my head, I'm kind of thinking, well, the best thing you can do is leave. And I couldn't tell this sweet gentleman who was trying his best to help me that he was not helping me. But God in his wisdom knew what I needed.
I always go up and ask them if I can pray with them, and they 98% of the people say yes. And I think that situation that they're in a hospital, they really need something like that. They need something, hope, and I think praying can help give that. And so I said, can I pray for you?
I think he asked, he said, from what you've told me, it seems as though you are a Christian. Is that correct? And I told him yes. And he offered to pray for me.
It's uplifting for both me and the person I'm talking to. I enjoy this. Is a highlight of my week when I go into the hospital and spend my hours there just talking with people. And I tell them sometimes we don't know why bad things happen to good people. We don't know. And we're told, and I tell them, we're told not to lean on our own understanding, but we're to lean on Jesus.
God knew that that's what I needed to help sustain me. And even though sound is something that typically bothers me, one of the things that helped lift my spirits, and he comes with his ukulele and sings this song about being in the hospital that is just wonderful. And not only did it not bother me, but it lifted my spirits.
A lot of other places that I'd rather be than laying in a hospital watching TV. I'd like to be dressing up and going somewhere without a flimsy gown that leaves my backside bare. But here I am singing this little tune, doing what I need to do so I can leave soon. I'd like to be dining in such a way that I don't have to eat on a plastic tray. I'd like to be sleeping all through the night without the nurses poking me and turn on the light. But here I am singing this little tune, yeah, doing what I need to do so I can leave soon. The view from my window is awesome indeed, and the nurses on the floor give me everything I need. But sooner or later my thoughts begin to roam, and I'm wishing I were back in my bed at home. But here I am singing this little tune, yeah, doing what I need to do so I can leave soon. Doing what I need to do so I can leave soon. You don't have to play the ukulele or the harmonica or whatever. All you have to do is talk with them, you know, and you want to comfort them and encourage them and uplift them, but they all have one thing in common. They're all in the hospital because something they couldn't control. You know, God's in control, and I give them some stories about my life, of how God has been in control and how that's worked for me. Basically, I'm kind of an introvert, and so I never thought that what I'm doing today I could ever do. So anyway, so I'm stuck with that. I'm stuck with my being an introvert. And so, but I encourage people who are. I mean, it's not necessarily being introvert or extrovert. It's just being able to connect with people and chatting with them. You don't have to be creative. You just have to connect with them and be comforting to them.
Perhaps like Glen, you have talents you don't even know you have. God can use you just as well. Think about it. Pray about it. Ask God how He can use you to finish well. I'm Hal Habecker.